Hello, welcome back to Mama Jen's. I am actually going to be doing something fun today, weighing out some things and talking about what we're doing next week. Starting on Sunday, we're going to be living off of World War II rations for a week with my entire family of 7. So this is the list that I'm going off of. This comes from 1940s Experiment. I really like her page. She's got a YouTube page, a YouTube channel. She's got a Facebook group, and it's very interactive and a lot of fun. I don't know where to go. There it is. Eat it up. Ew, that's yucky. Go put it in the trash. He must have dropped it and picked it up. Ew. Okay, so it's over here. Kenneth, the trash can's over here. So to start with, the number one thing on the list is bacon. So it is 4 ounces per person. So for our family of 7, that would be 28 ounces. I bought these for $2.71 the other day, and I have 2 packs, and this is 24 ounces. So what I'm going to do for the rest of the other 4 ounces is I have some bacon bits in the refrigerator. I'm going to weigh out the 4 ounces, and this will be our allotment for next week, which is actually more bacon than we usually use. I'm doing a video and you're interrupting. I see that. No, I don't need to see. Where'd it go? There it is. Now, turn around and eat your food. He's putting noodles in his hands. Where'd it go? Okay, so that takes care of the bacon, the number one thing on the list. The next thing is meat. It says to the value of 1 shilling. Now, I'm in America. We use dollars. So I tried to kind of figure that out. I'm still not sure, but we already have meat. I have meat in the freezer. So what I've decided to do is we're going to just average it out to 1 pound per person for the week. So is that good? Chew it up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take ground beef, pork chops, things like that. We'll do 7 pounds, and every day we'll eat 1 pound of meat between us. That'll be an easy way to measure it out, and that's actually pretty normal for us. I may even do a pound of sandwich meat in there, just because we already have some, and I could weigh it out, and we could go from there. You like to see yourself? So that's that. Now the next thing on the list, and I'm getting my scale up and going for this, is butter. Now for butter, we're doing something a little different. For butter, different times during, you have to be quiet. During different times during the war, they had different amounts of butter. Stop. And usually it was 2 ounces. So I'm going to actually do something different, because my husband does not like margarine, and margarine, you actually got 4 ounces up. All right, get down and go play. So we're going to kind of do a switch, and we're going to double up on the butter basically and do 14 ounces of butter. And then instead of margarine, actually no, not 14 ounces, it would be 28 ounces of butter. I'm getting myself confused. He interrupted me. It'll be 28 ounces of butter. Now, when you look at how much butter that is, it's more than we typically use in a week. So I doubt we'll use all that. But instead of margarine, I'm going to use coconut oil because I already have it. Now, some of these are not true to World War II rations. I'm not trying to 100% replicate World War II. I'm just trying to use what we already have, ration it out, and see what we can do. So for butter, let me put it on the scale here, and I'm going to just see and show you how much 28 ounces of, 28 ounces of butter would be. Excuse me. Actually, let me do it this way. I may have to stop this and calculate this. I'm not going to stop it. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to see how many this would be in grams. I think that'd be an easier way to measure it, since I have a scale that has grams. This tells the grams. So give me just 1 second. Okay, that would be 791 grams. So let me get this moved back over to grams. I gotta open another box here. Typically, we don't use more than a pound of butter a week, so I really don't see us using the full amount. But let's see. Okay, this is 802, and this is 7 sticks of butter, which is 1 stick of butter per person for the week. So that's actually not terrible. We may end up using all this, but I don't think we will. I really don't. I don't think we will. Because mostly I would be using this to butter bread, for toast, things like that. And we will be eating quite a bit of bread. I'll get into that in a minute. But there's the butter allotment for the week. So I'm going to set this down over here. All right. So next up, let me throw these boxes away. Next up on the list is cheese. Now, I have this big block of cheese, and for cheese, it was 1 ounce per adult, but kids got more. So I decided I'm gonna do 3 ounces for each of my kids. So that'll be a total of 17 ounces of cheese between my kids and my husband and I. And things that we plan to do are cheese toast, things like that. So 17 ounces of cheese would be just over a pound. This is 1 pound and 11 ounces, so it's quite a bit more. And I forgot to grab a knife. I'm a baggage. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. All right, I'm putting a bowl on my scale to put the butter into. I'm gonna cut this into strips, like pieces. I'm making a lot of noise. There you go. I'm gonna cut this into chunks and see how much it weighs. There's the first chunk. Okay, that's 10.7 ounces. £1 pound, 1 ounce, 17 ounces. I did good. All right, so this I'm going to actually put in the freezer. I'm gonna grate this, put it in a bag, put it in the freezer for after this week's challenge. So that is that. So I have my butter, I have my bacon, I have my cheese. Now, the next thing is cooking fat. So for margarine, I'm going to use butter instead, and it'll be 14 ounces. Now, this is a 14-ounce jar of coconut oil, so I don't have to weigh it, I don't have to do anything. I will not use this much coconut oil in a week. I just won't. I just won't. It's a lot of margarine. That's a lot of butter. They allowed a lot of fats, and I just don't see us using that much, but I'm cooking from scratch for the whole week, so we might end up, especially making bread and things like that, we might end up using a lot of the oils. So we'll see, but I'll let you know. I have cooked with coconut oil before, and I really liked it. I made banana bread, I made other things like that. So I think it'll be a good balance. Next, vegetable oil. Let me get this. I don't know that I've even opened this yet. I have not. I just bought it this week because I was out. All right, now let me get this. Now this would be 14 ounces. So I'm gonna use my measuring cup here and just measure out 14 ounces. And I will put this into a mason jar, and I'm going to actually empty an entire shelf in one of my cabinets where I will put all of the dry things that I'm going to be using, so I can keep everything contained in one place for the week. Make it easier for me and to see what I have left by the end of the week. So there's my oil for the week. Now, the next thing is sugar. I did this a couple of weeks ago, and I weighed it out, and we were quite surprised by how much sugar it was. My family was like, really? That's a lot of sugar, Mom. I said, I know, it really is. So we're gonna measure this out. I didn't get a big bowl. I just got a couple little ones, and I may end up separating it between the little ones for right now, since I don't want to get up and redo all that. Sugar. There was 8 ounces per person per week. So that is 56 ounces for my family for the week. So we're gonna start, I'm gonna break some of this up, it's a little clumpy. We're gonna start with this bowl. Start getting it. I may have to get up and get a bigger bowl because this bowl's not gonna hold a whole lot. Yeah. Nope, that bowl's not even gonna be close. I will be back again. I'm back with a bowl that'll be big enough. Now I gotta move something. I'm hitting the oil. And we do not want to knock over a cup of vegetable oil. We do not. All right, it's at 0. We're gonna pour this in there. That's at 15 ounces. Let's keep scooping. I would try to get it on the scale itself, but I'd have to move the whole thing. Okay, got my big bowl. Now I'm gonna do this in grams because I am going to, it's easier to figure out. So it's 1,589 grams. So let me get this started here. Lots of scoops, breaking up clumps here. Now, the last time we did this, like I said, my kids were just kind of shocked at how much sugar it was. And if we're baking and cooking from scratch, we may end up using it. I guess I'm a little bit up. All right, I'm at almost 900. Once I show you how much sugar this is, it's actually a lot of sugar. And I stopped putting sugar in my morning coffee. I've been really trying to cut back on sugar. So, although my allotment will be in here, I won't be consuming very much sugar at all, if any. And my family will be conservative with it. Now, one thing I will say, we do make our own syrup. So, some of the sugar will go toward making our own syrup because I don't want to use our ration points to buy syrup. We can make our own. And my husband and kids love our homemade syrup better than anything else. So, okay, 1589. I'm at 1510. So I'm almost there. Let's see, almost. I'm inching my way up there. I went over a tad bit. There, got it, exact. Okay, this is our sugar allotment for the week. That's a big bowl, and it's pretty full and pretty heavy. So, good bit of sugar. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, milk is rationed, and for our size family, it would be about 4 gallons of milk, which is more than we use in a week, typically. I do plan to utilize milk a lot more that week. I want to make homemade puddings. We're going to have French toast one day. Now, another thing is eggs. All right. For the eggs, it's 1 egg per adult per week, 3 eggs per child per week. So for my family size, that would be 17 eggs. Now, I actually have 12 eggs. That's all I have with me right now. But families could get the eggs, but they also could use powdered eggs. So what I plan to do, I do have a can of powdered eggs. I cannot get to it this moment. It's behind some stuff in my cabinet. I do plan to pull that out and measure out the amount and do powdered eggs for baking. So I use the fresh eggs for making like French toast, things like that we're going to be eating, you know, fresh eggs with. But the rest of it, I will take the powdered eggs, mix them up to make pancakes or whatever else we're baking. So that's the plan for that. Now, part of the other things that were rationed were preserves. It was a 1 pound jar every 2 months. So basically for our family size, I think I figured that out to be 12 ounces a week. I don't remember. I figured it out and wrote it down somewhere else. I don't have it right now. We don't use typically that much unless we have a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, which is a possibility that week, because I will have peanut butter, even though that, I don't know how the rationing works on that, but we have peanut butter. So I decided peanut butter and jellies are going to be kind of a lunch thing with homemade bread. I do plan to make homemade bread. Flour was not rationed, but it was hard to come by. But I have flour, and back during that time period, people would go to a baker and buy whole wheat bread. So I plan to make my own. Probably won't be whole wheat. My family aren't big fans of whole wheat bread. Another thing that I'm going to take a liberty with, and we're just going to eat the bread that I make. Now, I do have whole wheat flour. I do hope to kind of sneak a cup of whole wheat flour into each batch of bread, make it a little healthier, but I'm just doing what I can with what I've got. Tea was rationed. It was 2 ounces per person. We don't use near that much tea because we just don't drink a lot of hot tea, and we sometimes make sweet tea, but most meals we just drink water. So I'm not going to worry about the tea. Now, coffee, on the other hand, we are big coffee drinkers, and it was not rationed in England, but it was in America. So I haven't done the math on it yet, but we're going to just stick to our 1/2 pot of coffee in the morning and stick with that throughout that week. Not use the K-cups, actually make a pot of coffee and just keep it basic. Sweets and candy. It was 8 ounces every 4 weeks per person. So I also read that you could actually use cocoa powder in exchange for your sweets. So my husband loves brownies, so I will probably take his portion of the sweets and get the cocoa powder to make brownies with. For 1 week, though, that would only be 2 ounces per person. So for our family, it would be 14 ounces. So I'll play around with that. Okay, let me see what else. Vegetables. That was the other thing. Potatoes. I read somewhere that it was 1 pound of potatoes per person per day, because there was a lot of potatoes. It was cheap, it was filling, it was nutritious. They ate a lot of potatoes. So what I've decided to do was I had decided to go and buy a bunch of potatoes. But then I thought, I don't really want to do that. I'd rather wait, and do something different. So yesterday we were given potatoes. So I have enough potatoes to last the week. We will be eating a lot of potatoes. I have cabbage in the refrigerator if we don't use it this weekend. Also, another thing, onions. Onions were something that were not readily available during that time. They might have gotten 1 a week or 2 a week, depending on what was available. So I had planned to just use the few onions I had available, and yesterday I was given a bunch of onions. So we will have plenty of onions for the week. I'll incorporate them in a lot of our meals. Next up, what was I going to talk about? I think that's it. I really do. There's not a whole lot more. I do plan to make the bread, but we actually have a doctor's appointment on Wednesday we have to go to. It's about 45 minutes away. So we'll have that. And then I have something else I have to go do on Thursday of next week. So because I'm going to be gone some and not at home like I had kind of hoped to for the week, on Wednesday when I go on that errand, I'm planning to take my kids. I've got a picnic basket. I've got picnic blankets. If it's not pouring down rain that week, I plan to take a picnic lunch. So I'll probably make the bread Monday, Tuesday. I'll have my daughters help me. We'll bake bread, and then we'll make sandwiches to take. So that's kind of the plan there. And lots of salad stuff, vegetables. Plan to eat lots of vegetables. So that's pretty much where I'm at. I'll go back over it all. I've got our butter for the week for 7 people, 1 stick each. Our coconut oil for baking with, and our oil. And then I've got my bacon, 2 packs, and then I'll weigh out the other after a while. Our cheese. I've got 12 eggs, which I will do the powdered later. I'll get those done. And I've got sugar. So that's where we're at. And that's all I'm going to be rationing as far as this goes. I have a pretty well-stocked home, so we'll use pantry staple items like, you know, baking powder, baking soda, things like that. I was trying to think. We will not use any kind of box mixes I have in my cabinets, obviously, because we're going to cook from scratch, and it's going to be a very fun experience for the kids. Oh, cereal. I discovered that Cheerios came out during the 1940s. I think it was 1945. So, for a special treat, I decided to buy Cheerios to have for breakfast 2 mornings. My kids like to eat cereal in the morning anyway. We'll have plenty of milk, so that'll be fun, and I'll serve some fruit with it. Another thing, I was trying to think. What was the other? There was something else. Oh, we're going to be doing this during the week of St. Patrick's Day, and I love to do corned beef and cabbage and potatoes and carrots and all of that for St. Patrick's Day. And this year, because we're doing this, the meat for that would not be in alignment at all, because my family loves corned beef so much. The last time I made it, I bought 2 corned beef briskets, and they ate every bit of the meat and were begging for more. So I had planned for St. Patrick's Day to buy 3 corned beef briskets and do the whole thing. And then it's this week. So I decided I'm going to wait till the next Sunday. We'll be finishing up the challenge on Saturday. Sunday morning, I'll have the 3 corned beef briskets. We'll cook that. It'll be fun. It'll be a good new thing after not having a whole lot of meat through the whole week to jump in and have corned beef for Sunday. So that's the plan. And now I need to go take my son his lunch. So I hope y'all have a great day, and thanks for watching.